Hi everybody, it's Scott Phillips, CEO at Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, joined here with Mike Rapaski, the guy who's been running our commercial practice for the better part of the past year, and going to talk to you guys about some exciting opportunities that we have going on with the future of KW Greater Metropolitan in commercial. So, Mike, first year in the business,
Yeah,
and pretty exclusively in commercial. How'd it go?
it went great. Learned a lot. Saw a lot of very unique and different things. As we will often joke, from nunneries to gunneries. So, got to work on deals related to convents for nuns, to gun ranges, to medical office space, to hotels, to retail space, industrial space.
And I understand we had leases, we had sales, buyers, sellers. What was it like?
Yeah, every one of those transactions is a little bit different, right? So really learned a lot about how much external support you need in regards to completing a commercial transaction.
Yeah.
Like, the lawyers are definitely involved. I would say the average time to close a deal is several months, and most of the time it's sitting on a lawyer's desk.
Perfect. That's just the way that we'd want it. So we as I look at our company, we've been open now for almost 18 years. We have had very few, if any, agents work exclusively on commercial. So as far as I'm aware, in the decade I've been here, you're the first person that said, you know what, I'm gonna shun all residential, work exclusively on commercial. And you've been coming to our sales meetings and whatnot. Like, what's it like hearing everyone talk about real estate, and then going back into your lens?
Yeah, so I am jealous at times of some of the elements, but then when I hear people talk about ranches and bungalows and colonials, I know that I'm in the right spot, because I could not pick one of those out of the lineup. So it's been great. I think that there's overlap, but the needs of the customer are going to be slightly different. Transactions they're still emotional, but they're not as reactionary. There's a lot of patience in the marketplace, because there's not a lot out there, and if you've got a cash flowing investment, you don't have to sell.
Yeah.
And so navigating those things, a lot of the tenets of what we teach around residential or lead gen and lead follow-up and negotiations, all that stuff still applies. It's just the tertiary stuff around the edges that really need to be honed.
Yeah, all right, well, and you've done well. To be candid, I won't make him brag about himself, but Mike here in his first year in the business, licensed less than a year, has gone on, actually probably had the best year that any commercial agent we've ever has had in the company, and it's still going, actually. And as you said, a lot of that business came from the people in our office, referring you business and so forth.
Yeah, so that's been a tremendous opportunity. When we initially talked about going exclusively into commercial, it was that there are these opportunities that our agents have with the relationships they have with their clients that we don't have the opportunity to really deliver on consistently and protecting the company. As we talked about, a lot of legal things that get involved with commercial, and it's not as clean cut sometimes as the residential contractor offer. So we started telling people about the opportunity, and 80% of the business that I've completed from a transaction standpoint this year, I'm currently working, has come through referral from agents internally.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's been a great opportunity to get in better relationship with them, to support the needs of their client, and ultimately, sell more real estate, share more profit.
So as we evolved this year, we also had a lot of agents that worked with you and said, hey, I'm going to refer this over to you, but I would like to kind of peek over your shoulder. I want to see how this goes. I've got some interest. And I wouldn't say a lot, but it was a handful, then maybe a handful became 2 handfuls of agent. And now people are starting to say, well, am I allowed to do commercial? And my hardline stance was always, I'd love to say yes, but I don't know how to, because there's so many logistics. And so we spent all of 2019, kind of as a research and development year, where we said, okay, we're gonna see what happens if we had someone just do commercial. What would it take to support an agent? What would it take in terms of, like you said, patience and education and knowledge? And I mean, you came up with at the end of the year was you said, guys, we actually could let other people do commercial. There's a few things we want to address though, and that's really what this video series is about. Is getting people ready. So why don't you tell us about what you've built, what the opportunity looks like for agents who may want to do commercial now, which we are going to allow, and what they need to do, what
Yeah.
kind of things they need to understand, and so forth. And I'll let you kind of tell everybody what you developed here throughout the past 6-7 months.
Yeah, absolutely. So from the agent that is interested in being a part of the commercial world, they've got an opportunity and they want to use it to learn and get into a deeper relationship with their client. Like that's the opportunity that we want to be able to exploit in the coming years. And so that starts with be learning based, complete this education series. It's 5 quick videos, a couple of quizzes. It's going to give you the high points around language, working with buyers, working with a listing, just understanding where the differences are from residential to commercial.
Okay.
And then it's a partnership with anyone that's doing commercial exclusively, which right now is me, and that may continue to evolve. But that helps deliver on the expertise, right, and experience required to talk intelligently about leases and negotiations on that end, connection to lenders and lawyers and other folks that are outside of the transaction, and then allows you to focus on, hey, I get to ride shotgun on all these opportunities and I get to get into a deeper relationship with the client, and you're kicking back what is effectively a referral fee to the commercial division.
Yeah,
right?
And that was something that was real important hearing you say, like, we want to teach people how to speak the language, how to understand the basics, because, in my role, being responsible for the company's future, risk management.
Yeah.
When you're the top company in the whole MLS, we don't want to have the company implode because, we let one person who wasn't prepared do a commercial deal.
Yep.
And, they come after us for everything we have. We built a nice company here, and we don't want to lose it over any one deal. and what I appreciate is that you've done this video series here that people can watch and actually train them and prepare them so that we can have some call it risk mitigation a little bit out front. So we don't just have anybody who said, oh, I've got a buddy who owns an office building, I'd like to list it. Of course, everyone wants to. They think the commission's going to be high.
Yeah.
But there's a lack of preparation oftentimes in terms of being ready to do something like that. And you spent the year learning and preparing what it would take to allow the rest of our agents to do that. So I appreciate that you've done that.
Yeah, I think that the examples around risk is every transaction from a commercial standpoint is one of one. So there is not a stock contract, there is not a stock lease, there is not a stock addendum, right? So everything is
custom
being generated for that transaction, and knowing that myself, it is at times still challenging to not just say, oh, well, go download a lease from Google, right? Like, no, we need to have them in contact with a lawyer. We need to have them drafting a lease specific to their needs, and then having another lawyer review it and negotiate it. So the exposure with a $750,000 multifamily apartment going under a residential contract, which I have seen, I've been on the receiving end of, it's scary to think about all the things that could happen because that takes place. And so this is really to say, hey, go get that $750,000 multifamily buyer, get them excited about a property. Let us help you find it through the tools and resources of CoStar and LoopNet and Crexi and all these other commercial real estate versions of the MLS. Let us connect your buyer with a lawyer. Let us leverage our transaction coordination team to see that through the due diligence and the seismic studies and all the other things that come as a part of that review of financial documents.
As a matter of side point, I don't even know about a third of the things he said, and I've done probably more commercial than almost anyone in the company besides him, and I have no clue what 2 of the things he just said were. So that's a lot of language and vocabulary that I'm glad that your expertise, as long as it's yours, and the commercial team's expertise will be behind that, because those are the kind of things that if I, as CEO of the company, don't know what some of the things you just said are, I can't imagine that an agent 1 year into the business who really wants to do that commercial deal is prepared to have that conversation about Crexi and seismic studies. I don't even know what those things are. So that's a really important point that you just made. And I want to augment. I think I heard you say, hey, if you work with our team, not join our team, but you pair with our team on your commercial deal, what happens is you get access to LoopNet.
Yep.
You get access to CoStar.
Yep.
You get access to a transaction coordinator who is now experienced.
Yes.
Very experienced transaction coordinator, but now experienced in commercial as well. And that you've got a lawyer, lender, inspector, and so forth, like that network of people to go to help you. Because we have basic things like a letter of intent and exclusive right to list agreement type things for commercial. But as you said, every deal is one of one. There's no stock legal agreement.
Right.
They're all pretty much drawn up, and we've already got a person on retainer that does that for us. Is that
Yep.
what I'm hearing?
Yep, that's accurate. We'll dive in a little bit more into that in some of the future
Mm-hmm.
videos, but the differences in terms of which lawyers do which types of deals,
gotcha,
which
yeah.
lenders do which types of
Right.
deals. So it's not just having a guy that does a thing. I've got a stable of lenders that I would share certain
Yeah.
deals to, but not others, because I know the size and shape that they want to approach, which is a little bit different than like, hey, I can get a 399
Yeah.
about anywhere. I'm just
Right.
dealing with fees. So
Right.
like those sort of things, we don't want agents who are excited about the opportunity and have a great relationship with their client to have to figure out on the fly.
Right.
Right.
Of course.
If anything needs to be figured out, let it be on us, and they just get to go deeper and deeper into relationship
Mm-hmm.
and focus on getting that transaction done.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to the rest of the video series. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Mr. Rapaski?
No, if you're watching this and some of the things that we're talking about or the words that are coming out of my mouth are terrifying or not interesting to you, don't fret. There's still the opportunity. If you have a client or somebody who has a need in the commercial realm, you can still kick that over to our team and get the standard referral fee, and we will treat them as good as gold as we do with everyone else. So this isn't an all or nothing. We're going to operate on a basic referral model, but we don't want to deny the opportunity to anybody to grow their real estate business.
That is huge, guys. 18 years that Keller Williams has been open for business. I've been in my role for 5.5, and we have never just kind of opened the floodgates for people to practice commercials. So if you are interested in doing so, I encourage you to watch the rest of these videos, pass the quizzes, have a conversation with Mike. And if you're not, as you said, Mike is still willing to take care of your clients at the moment, so go ahead and kick it over to him. Mike, thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Scott.
Looking forward to the rest of the video series.
Absolutely.
All right.